Okay. This. So, in theory, I'm a fan of the old isometric RPGs. I love the idea of loving them, but I've always struggled to actually put largely one of the big turnoffs of that particular generation for me is the absolutely horrendous fucking combat. Not only is it like janky beyond belief, I didn't play these at the time, but it's also just I don't like the pause and play. I got through it with Dragon Age, but that's about as close as I've ever gotten. I played like I mean like I've played the Fallout 1 and 2 to some extent, but I've always been meaning to crack into this one, and there's no time like the pleasant. See, I very recently played Disco Elysium, which for those who don't know is a very last year I think it was released. It's an RPG that's very dialogue based and very heavy, very like heady and very. There is no practical combat. There are no fight sequences. I haven't played all the way through, but largely any altercations are dealt with through dialogue. And I really appreciate that because I feel like there is a great potential in something that straddles the line between like, it's not a VN, it's an interactive game. I feel like there are so many games that use combat purely because they felt like they had to. And Planescape, from what I've heard, if you decide to play it that way, it uses combat very sparingly. And I can get down with that. I've played a fair share of tabletop games, and I am moderately familiar with not the Planescape universe in particular, more just the broader sort of I don't know. I when I was very very young, I had gone to my uncle's house, and he had this like shitty old, even by the standards of the time, and I was fairly young, he had this what felt like an ancient computer and like a horde of games, and he didn't know anything about them. I don't know where he got them. He probably stole them. From God knows where. But he had this collection of games, and one of the ones he had put in, I had been searching for it for so long. It felt like a fever dream. But I remembered the introduction very vividly, and I couldn't figure out how to get past it. But I remembered like there's a scalpel. There are drawers that you could check. It was a role playing game before I knew anything about role playing games. And a few years back, I bought Planescape Torment before it was enhanced, and I was struck by how like familiar it felt at first until I realized this is precisely the game that I played when I was much younger, and I am absolutely over the moon. But I hadn't really played much of it. I did enough to kind of dip in and don't remember a thing about it, save for Mort, the skull friend. I think the most I had done was like get out of the morgue area, and that was it. So this will effectively be my first time playing this game. Any Steam hours that I have logged are because I've left it up with the intention of doing something with it and then gone to make dinner. And then I've watched whatever flavor of the month show was on for a good 2 or 3 hours at a time. This is always so intimidating. I want to say that... Oh, this is bullshit. I mean, largely, it's gonna... This kind of thing is dictated by... Your intelligence is exceptional, I know. That's because I put all my points into it, both in the game and in real life. And you can quote me on that when I say something ridiculously stupid. Soon enough. This is completely arbitrary. I'm gonna throw myself from the top of the highest cliff once I get into the game and realize what I've done. Actually. So I am going to be... Well, I know he's the nameless one, but can I name it for the sake of, like, a save file? No. So I know that there's a little bit of voice dialogue. For the sake of my viewership, for the sake of ease of access, I am going to voice the parts that are not voiced. I'm going to be doing a lot of different types of games. I'm finding my flow, I'm finding my tastes, but largely I'm just going to stream the stuff that I like for now, unless I get specific requests. Let's see what we're dealing with. I really like the old isometric, like, chunky...
Hey, Chief. You okay? You playing corpse or you putting the blinds on the dusties? I thought you were a deader for sure.
Who are you? Who am I? How about you start? Who are you? I don't know. I can't remember. Oh, you can't remember your name. Well, next time you spend a night in this burg, go easy on the bub. Name's Mort. I'm trapped in here too. What the fuck am I doing? I'm far better at this than... Oh, okay, well, that's fine. Trapped. Yeah, since you haven't had time to get your legs yet, here's the chant. I've tried all the doors, and this room is locked tighter than a chastity belt. We're locked in... where? Where's this place? It's called the Mortuary. It's a big black structure with all the architectural charm of a pregnant spider. The Mortuary? What, am I dead? Not from where I'm standing. You got scars aplenty, though. Looks like some Burke painted you with a knife. All the more reason to give this place the laugh before whoever carved you up comes back to finish the job. Scars. How bad are they? Well, the carvings on your chest aren't too bad, but the ones on your back... Mort pauses. Say, looks like you got a whole tattoo gallery on your back, Chief. Spells out something. Tattoos on my back? What do they say? Well, looks like you come with directions. Mort clears his throat. Let's see. It starts with... I know you don't feel... No. I know you feel like you've been drinking a few kegs of stick swash, but you need to center yourself. Among your possessions is a journal that'll shed some light on the dark of the matter. Farad can fill you in on the rest of the chant if he's not in the dead book already. Farad? Does it say anything else? Yeah, there's a bit more. Mort pauses. Let's see. It goes on. Don't lose the journal or we'll be up the sticks again, and whatever you do, do not tell anyone who you are or what happens to you. Or they'll put you on a quick pilgrimage to the crematorium. Do what I tell you, read the journal, then find Farad. No wonder my back hurts. There's a damn novel written back there. As for the journal I'm supposed to have with me, was there one with me while I was lying here? No, you were stripped to the skins when you arrived here. Besides, looked like you got enough of a journal penned on your body. What about Farad? Do you know him? Nobody I know. But then again, I don't know many people. Still, some Burks gotta know where to find Farad. Once we get out of here, that is. How do we get out of here? Well, all the doors are locked, so we'll need the key. Chances are one of the walking corpses in this room has it. Walking corpses? Yeah, the mortuary keepers use dead bodies as cheap labor. The corpses are dumb as stones, but they're harmless, and won't attack you unless you attack first. Is there some other way? I don't want to kill them just for a key. What, you think it's gonna hurt their feelings? They're dead. But, if you want a bright side to this, if you kill them, at least they'll have a rest before their keepers raise them up to work again. Well, alright, I'll take one of them down and get the key. Well, before you do that, arm yourself first. I think there's a scalpel on one of the shelves around here. One last thing. Those corpses are as slow as molasses, but getting punched by one of them is like being kissed by a battering ram. If they start getting an edge on you, remember you can run, and they can't. Use it to keep some distance if you need to recover. Alright, thanks for the advice. So I opened the stream talking about how there's apparently very little combat, and the first thing that they get you to do is learn how to fight. I'm not going to read the tool tips, and then I'm not going to know where anything is, and the stream's going to be all the better for it. I mean, I get it. Combat is such an integral part of the DNA of this thing that even if they're going to use it sparingly, they still don't want you to be bored right off the bat. Alright, you found the scalpel. Now, go get those corpses. Hey, don't worry, I'll stay back and provide valuable tactical advice. Maybe you could help me, Mort? I will be helping you. Good advice is hard to come by. I meant help in attacking the corpse. Me? I'm a romantic, not a soldier. I just get in the way. Alright then. Time to introduce those corpses to the second death then. This is so goddamn archaic. I hope did I? Oh, okay. I've done enough of this kind of thing. As a kid, I had this huge Origin published playbook on Ultima Online that I just read. Thank you, Mort. See, I was having a genuine flashback to my childhood, but now I'm just so appreciative of the help from my new friend Mort. I used to have this huge, like the other corpses in this room. This one is covered in blood and completely gutted. I had this huge guide to Ultima Online that was extensive. It covered everything. It had like a section on playing pranks on people as a ghost, and despite having played for any real amount of time very little of these isometrics, I'm intimately familiar with them because they all worked the exact same way. But I think you can see in like how rudimentary the combat is that they definitely did not give a fraction of a shit, and maybe we're trying to de-incentivize you by making it dull as humanly possible. That's good. I think that like they probably didn't know, because at the time like they didn't have D&D 5th edition or anything, or I don't know where they were. If they were still at 3.5 or whatever, which was like very action based. I don't know. I know I opened this saying I know some stuff about tabletop. I don't really. I love the look of this, but like it was also action based. I I don't know how to use... Okay, so it's not the right door. It was all very action-based, and I don't think that they knew how to distribute experience points outside of, like, you hit and kill it, and this is the value of it. A lot of more modern games have... Whoa, what the fuck? A lot of more modern games have found some very clever ways of distributing experience, and, like, I think it's supported in D&D 5th edition, where through, you know, dialogue you're able to... Through dialogue or, like, clever solutions to things, you're able to get experience in that way. Hey, some advice, Chief? I'd keep it quiet from here on. No need to put any more corpses in the dead book than necessary. Especially the femmes. Plus, killing them might draw the caretakers here. I don't think you mentioned it before. Who are these caretakers? They call themselves the Dustmen. You can't miss them. They have they have an obsession with black and rigor mortis of the face. They're an addled bunch of ghoulish death worshippers. They believe everybody should die sooner, better than later. I'm confused. Why do these Dustmen care if I escape? Weren't you listening? I said the Dusties believe everybody's gotta die sooner, better than later. You think the corpses you've seen are happier in the dead book than out of it? The corpses I've seen here, where did they all come from? Death visits the plains every day, Chief. These shamblers are all that's left of the poor sods who sold their bodies to the caretakers after death. Before you said something about making sure I didn't kill any female corpses? Why? What? Are you serious? Look, Chief, those dead chits are the last chance for a couple of hardy bashers like us. We need to be chivalrous. No hacking them up for keys, no lopping their limbs off, things like that. Last chance? What are you talking about? Chief. They're dead. We're dead. See where I'm going? Huh? You can't be serious. Chief, we already got an opening line with these limping ladies. We've all died at least once. We'll have something to talk about. They'll appreciate men with our kind of death experience. Wait, didn't you say before that I'm not dead? Well, alright, you might not be dead, but I am. And from where I'm standing, I wouldn't mind sharing a coffin with some of these fine, sinewy cadavers I see here. Mort, very unfortunately, starts clacking his teeth, as if in anticipation. Of course, the caretakers would have to part with them first, and that's not likely. Who are these caretakers again? Is it the Dusty thing? Yes, okay. Alright. I get it. Look, Chief, it's obvious you're still a little addled after your kiss with death, so I got 2 bits of advice for you. 1, if you got questions, ask me. Alright? Alright, if I have any questions, I'll ask you. 2nd, if you're half as forgetful as you seem to be, start writing stuff down whenever you come across something that might be important. Jot it down so you don't forget. If I had that journal I was supposed to have with me, I'd do that. Start a new one then, Chief, no loss. There's plenty of parchment and ink around here to last you. Alright, it couldn't hurt. I'll make a new one then. Use it to keep track of your movements. If you ever start to get cloudy on important things, like who you are, or, more importantly, who I am, use it to refresh your memory. Alright, I got it. Let's go.
Updated my journal.
Updated my journal. Do you guys want me to start? I can really bring it down a few tones. Hang on. The shambling corpse gazes at you with vacant eyes. Her skin is paper thin, almost wispy. It's like someone draped a sheet of cobwebs across her frame. The number 594 has been scratched onto her forehead with a charcoal pencil. It was great talking to you. Farewell. Hey, you see the way she was looking at me? Huh? You see that? The way she was following the curve of my occipital bone? You mean that blank-eyed beyond the grave stare? Are you blind? She was scouting me out. It was shameless the way she wanted me. I think you and your imagination need some time away from each other. Yeah, whatever. When you've been dead as long as I have, you know the signals. They may be too subtle for you to pick up on, but that's why I'll be spending my nights with some luscious, recently dead shit while you're standing around going, huh? Oh, what's going on? Where's my memories? Whatever, Mort. Let's go. I mean, they're raised again. I feel like just to slight him, I should pull some just absolutely Ripper-esque shit. Because, I mean, like, chances are they can't feel it and they're not aware of it. Though I guess I shouldn't make that assumption. This could be some kind of terribly complex afterlife that we're just not privy to. I also feel like I should be killing them for the sake of the experience, but let's not metagame. I'm in the moment. I'm living the life. Okay. Of the nameless one. This huge logbook lists mortuary procedures in a tight crab script. All shells entering the mortuary are to be delivered to the receiving room and logged with the scribe on duty before being embalmed or cremated. The records are to be checked to determine if the shell is one of the contracted, and if so, do not prepare the shell. Move the shell to one of the preparation rooms. Contact the scribe on duty and notify him that a contracted shell is to be raised. Be certain that a shell is thoroughly stripped of its possessions before being sent to the preparation rooms. The contracted workers are intended for simple manual labor and do not have the capacity to search and strip a shell. The faction is not responsible for any possessions lost or items stolen by collectors who have brought the shells to the mortuary. It's incredible that they're getting into, like, legalese in this logbook. The shell's possessions are to be stored in the receiving room until an initiate can be sent to claim them. Please catalog all possessions in the logbook. Following this list is thousands of entries of bodies that have been sent to the receiving room. As you flip through the rest of the book, however, you notice the last page has been cut out. This is very evocative to me, and probably exclusively me, just because I don't think this is what they intended. But it reminds me a little of, like, the Rosetta Stone, in that, like, the Rosetta Stone was the first real, like, strides that anybody had made in I believe it was working through, like, the complexities of some of the I think it was hieroglyphs, was it? I believe so. Or was it Greek? It was it was both. And from what I remember, it was mostly just like an agreement, a financial thing, but it was so revealing of the understandings of the time, of, like, the way that things worked, on top of, like, the linguistic strides that they made. I don't really know if I want to... Hi. The scribe looks very old. His skin is wrinkled and has a slight trace of yellow, like old parchment. Charcoal gray eyes lie within an angular face, and a large white beard flows down the front of his robes like a waterfall. His breathing is ragged and irregular, but even his occasional coughing does not slow the scratching of his quill pen. Greetings. Oh, Chief, what are you doing? I was going to speak with the scribe. He might know something about how I got here. Look, rattling your bone box with Dusty's should be the last thing. Before Mort can finish his rant, the scribe begins coughing violently. After a moment or two, the coughing spell dies down and the scribe's breathing resumes its ragged wheeze. And we especially shouldn't be swapping the chant with sick Dusty's. Come on, let's leave. The quicker we give this place the laugh, the better. Before Mort can finish, the scribe's gray eyes flicker to you. The weight of years hangs heavy upon me, restless one. He places down his quill. But I do not yet count deafness among my ailments. Restless one? Do you know me? Know you? Why? There's a trace of bitterness in the scribe's voice as he speaks. I have never known you, restless one. No more than you have known yourself. He's silent for a moment. For you have forgotten, have you not? Who are you? As always, the question, and the wrong question. As always. He bows slightly, but the movement suddenly sends him into a bout of coughing. He pauses for a moment, catches his breath. I am Doll. Perhaps you can answer some questions for me, Doll.
Updated my journal.
Very well. What did you wish to know? What is this place? You are in the mortuary, restless one. Again, you have come. Before he can finish, Doll breaks into a fit of coughing that, mercifully, I will not reenact. After a moment, he calms himself and his breathing resumes its ragged wheeze. This is the waiting room for those about to depart the shadow of this life. Tell me about the mortuary. This is where the dead are brought to be interred or cremated. It is our responsibility as dustmen to care for the dead, those who have left the shadow of life and walk the path of true death. Doll's voice drops in concern. Your wounds must have exacted a heavy toll if you do not recognize this place. It is almost your home. Shadow of life? Yes, a shadow. You see, restless one. This life, it is not real. Your life, my life, they are shadows. Flickerings of what life once was. This life is where we end up after we die. And here we remain trapped, caged, until we can achieve the true death. True death. True death is non-existence, a state devoid of reason, of sensation, of passion. Doll coughs, then gives a ragged breath. A state of purity. Sounds like oblivion. Why would anybody want that? Is it worse than remaining in the shadow of what life once was? I think not. Shadow of life? Yes, a shadow. You see, Okay, I get it. In a goddamn loop. What makes you think this life isn't real? What makes you think this life is real? Look inside yourself. Do you not feel something lacking? Dahl shakes his head. This is a purgatory. There is only sorrow here. Misery, torment. These are not the elements that make up life. They are part of the cage that traps us in this shadow. I think your fatalism has gotten the better of you. Those elements are just part of life, but not the whole of it. Dahl shakes his head. Passions carry weight. They anchor many to this shadow of life. As long as one clings to emotion, they will be continually reborn into this life, forever suffering, never knowing the purity of true death. I see. How does one escape the cycle of rebirth and achieve this true death? Kill your passions. Strip yourself of the need for sensation. When you are truly cleansed, then the cycle of rebirth will end, and you achieve peace. Dahl sighs. It sounds like a death rattle in his throat. Past these shells of ours, past the eternal boundary, lies the peace that all souls seek. It sounds to me like I am 100% prepped in real life for the eternal, for the true death. Unintentionally, I have lived a pure life, an ascetic life, and now I get to reap my reward by accident. The eternal boundary. The boundary between the shadow of this life and the true death. Dustmen. We Dustmen are a faction, a gathering of those that recognize the illusion of this life. We await the next life and help others on their journey. Perhaps you can explain why the Dustmen want me dead. Dahl sighs. It is said there are souls who can never attain the true death. Death has forsaken them, and their names shall never be penned in the dead book. To awake from death, as you have done, suggests you are one of these souls. Your existence is unacceptable to our faction. Unacceptable. That doesn't sound like it leaves me in a good position. You must understand, your existence is a blasphemy to them. Many of our faction would order you cremated if they were aware of your affliction. You're a Dustman, but you don't seem to be in favor of killing me. Why not? Because forcing our beliefs upon you is not just. You must give up this shadow of life on your own, not because we force you to. Dahl looks about to break into another coughing jag, but he manages to hold it in with some effort. As long as I remain at my post, I will protect your right to search for your own truth. And what is your post? I'm a scribe, a cataloger of all the shells that come to the mortuary. Dahl coughs again, then takes a deep breath. I mean, if you guys look, if you're aching for me to fill in these coughs, to absolutely shatter this serenity, let me know, and I'll do it. I'll do it in a second. As long as the stream of corpses flows through the mortuary, I shall remain at my post. You say that I have been here more than once. How is it that the Dustmen do not recognize me? Updated my journal. I'm the one who catalogues the shells that come to our holes, restless one. Dahl breaks into a fit of coughing, then steadies himself. Only I see the faces of those that lie upon our slabs. The dark of your existence lies safe with me. Well, that's some real fucking luck. Thank you, doll. So, okay, the two things. There's two things that I know about the Planescape setting. One, and I hate to break it to you, this is the worst news I've ever had to deliver, and I've had to deliver some pretty frighteningly bad news. It's pronounced sigil, and I don't care for it. So, to the Planescape creators, to the Imagineers of this particular project, tabletop and game, I apologize. I don't know if the voice actors also pronounce it sigil, but I won't be. It's sigil. And anytime I hear any grousing about it, I will send these souls directly to the mortuary, because I won't be dealing with it. The other thing that I know about Planescape is the nature of sigil and its setting. I was very keen on, with some friends, running a D&D campaign, just to give, like, I started it as a way to give myself, like, social structure. And not because I like to see my friends, it's just sometimes it's such a task to, like, go to somebody's house and do nothing and then head back. It's nice always, but sometimes it's hard to get the get up and go. So I'd kind of left myself in a position where, like, I wanted this to be something that we did regularly. And I had done some preliminary research into Sigil as a potential... not setting. I had some things that I wanted to do with it. Because it's, like, utterly fascinating, but I don't really know enough that I would say that it spoils literally anything about the game. Because I'm lazy. I did a little bit of research. I did the minimal amount of research. I saw the name and I saw what the nature of it is, and I pushed it out. And because the name of the game is Planescape, I don't think that's any kind of fucking spoiler. Can you tell me how to get out of here? The front gate is the most obvious exit, but they will not let anyone other than dustmen pass. Dull breaks into a ragged cough, then continues. One of the guides by the front gate has a key to it. But it is unlikely he will open it for you unless you are extremely persuasive. I see. I had some other questions. The old, like, CRPG dialogue can get so... for the sake of, like, not losing things or for, like, absolute clarification, it can get really circuitous and, like, it tends to circle itself a little bit, even in other dialogue options. But on the strength of its writing...
My journal.
I know scant little of you, restless one. I know little more of those that have journeyed with you, and who now lie in our keeping. All sighs. I ask that you no longer ask others to join with you, restless one. Where you walk, so walks misery. Let your burden be your own. Now, hold on a second. I am, through no conscious intention, I am your fucking missionary doll. I'm a private contractor who you have sent, a zealot, unintentionally, who you have sent out, and I bring them back for you. And they live with us here. So get the fuck over it. No, we can't impose our... You're not imposing anything. I'm not imposing anything. They want to come with me, and the condition is that they die. It's not just something that happens, it's a condition. I write it into my contract. There are others who have journeyed with me, and they're here.
Updated my journal.
Do you not know the woman's corpse interred in the memorial hall below? I had thought that she had traveled with you in the past. Dahl looks like he's about to start coughing again and catches his breath. Am I mistaken? I also appreciate the great lengths that they've gone to really bring these characters to life in a for lack of like visual fidelity or animation. They focus in a lot on the minutia of what they're doing or how they're behaving or their eccentricities, and it seems like a little tedious, I guess, from the outside, but I really appreciate the way that it kind of brings this to life. Hang on. Back. It is a very it's very considerate. Where's her body? The Northwest Memorial Hall, on the floor below us. Check the biers there. Her name should be on one of the memorial plaques. Mayhap that will revive your memory. I don't know. I don't recall ever traveling with a woman. Dahl makes no response to this. He simply stares at you in silence. Well, fuck you. Yeah, I get it. Before you said there were others interred here who journeyed with me. Where are they? Doubtless there are, but I know not their names, nor where they lie. One such as you has left a path many have walked, and few have survived. Dahl gestures around you. All dead come here. Some must have traveled with you once. I find no fault with your reasoning. I had some other questions. I do a little bit, but that's alright. He's probably right. It's an educated guess. You sound ill. Are you not well? Do I want to invest myself that personally in Dahl? Do I want to be a part of his... I do. I am close now to the true death, restless one. It will not be long before I pass beyond the eternal boundary and find the peace I have been seeking. I tire of this mortal sphere. Dahl gives a ragged sigh that I would assume sounds kind of like... maybe a little more hoarse. The plains hold no more wonders for one such as I. Are you certain? There might be some way I could help you. I do not wish to live forever, nor live again, restless one. I could not bear it. Farewell, Dahl. As you turn to leave, Dahl speaks. Know this. I do not envy you, restless one. To be reborn as you would be a curse that I could not bear. You must come to terms with it. At some point your path will return you here. Dahl coughs, the sound rattling in his throat. It is the way of all things, flesh and bone. Then perhaps we'll meet again, Dahl. I don't want to leave him now. His corpse has been completely wrapped in bandages like a mummy. I'm intertwined with Dahl. Both in game universe and in my real life now. I'll never forget you until a month from now when I've completely forgotten everything about the opening of this game. Which is very memorable. That's not a slight. Should I be killing these? I don't want to make it might be an imposition on Dahl, and I don't want to do that to him. But experience points are nice. How many do I need to level up? Does it say? I mean, it says... Now, that's foreboding. I'm sure it says somewhere, but I don't actually... I explicitly skipped the tooltips at the beginning. Oh, fuck. Yeah, no, this won't make a dent. Forget it. Hold on. I'm gone. All right. What am I supposed to be doing? That's the other thing about these isometrics that really gets me, is it's very hard to tell. Oh, it's up there. Everything is so washed out, and the perspective is such that like it's really kind of, the stench coming from this corpse is truly nauseating. Someone split open the man's chest and has yet to remove the internal organs. There's nothing wrong with that. Get used to it, bub. Yeah, it's just perspective can be really difficult. I recall playing like an older isometric game where I think I wandered in circles for a good like nearly an hour trying to figure things out because I didn't want to look up a guide, and I thought that there was a puzzle I was missing when it turns out the door was just like kind of hidden behind an archway. The disemboweled corpse proves how far you can physically stretch flesh without tearing it. That's nice. It was like couched in doorway, and I didn't know what to do with that. I was pretty pissed off. Iveen. You see a slight young woman with pale features. The sunken flesh around her cheeks and neck makes her appear as if she's starving. She seems intent on dissecting the corpse in front of her, prodding the chest with a finger. Greetings. The woman does not respond. She seems too intent on the body in front of her. As you watch her work, you suddenly notice her hands. Her fingers are like talons. They're darting in and out of the corpse's chest cavity like knives removing organs. What's wrong with your hands? The woman, fucking unsurprisingly, makes no response.
My journal.
She's a tiefling, Chief. They got fiend blood in their veins, usually 'cause some ancestor of theirs shared knickers with one demon or another. Makes some of them addled in the head, and addled looking, too. I'm going to get her attention. Tap the woman, get her attention. The woman jumps and whips around to face you. Her eyes are rotting yellow, with small orange dots for pupils. As she sees you, her expression changes from surprise to irritation, and she frowns at you. Greetings. She doesn't seem to have heard you. She leans forward, squinting, as if she can't quite make out. Whatever is wrong with her eyes must make her terribly nearsighted. Ew. She clacks her taloned fingers together, then makes a strange motion with her hands. Fine thread and embalming juice. Bring here to Iveen. Go. I had some questions first.
Updated my journal.
She turns away. She makes no sign that she heard you. I think the dusty chit might be a bit short of hearing, Chief. Let's lay off, shall we? What's wrong with her hands? Oh, she's a tiefling, Chief. Like I said before. Like in the other dialogue. Like when you just asked. God damn it. Paying attention. Where did she say it was? That's another thing, and this is purely due to my own irresponsible nature. There's no like okay. That's like I think the most extensive journaling system I've ever seen in a in a CRPG from that era. One that actually tells you any shit. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that there's some somewhere. I don't think I've, like, unintentionally... Because I've just been looting. I haven't been looking. But I'm so enchanted with Iveen. And I think I'm in love with her. I've given it some thought, and I know I'm in love with her. That's good. And I do have to return to her, and I do have to impress her. I mean, it's probably too much, but... I've never embalmed a corpse. Course? What was it again? That's what I thought. Okay. I've not seen a needle. Do I have to, like, circle all the way through this thing and then back around again to get the needle to her? I don't think that's fair to me. I don't mean to grouse. I just woke up. I've been dead for at least an hour. I don't know the timing for this phenomenon. Have I picked one up already and just didn't know? No, I haven't. So where the fuck is it? Is it downstairs? I mean, if you need me to start killing things, just say the word. I am nothing if completely unquestioning in the face of guidance. I will not do any kind of further thinking or meditating on it. I just exist in a space where everything is what it is, and that's all.
What's up?
Oh no, I'm gonna have to Google it so I don't wander all over this. How close can I get in? I like the old isometric models.
Good as done.
Mort, do you know any more than I do? Is there a way to... Oh, there is.
Hey, what's eating you, Chief?
I have the feeling doing this as a playthrough was the worst mistake I've ever made, because it's going to be disproportionately moments like this where I've been asked to do an obscenely simple thing, like please get me my corpse juice and a needle, and I spend two of 2.5 hours spent streaming looking for a needle. Needle? Oh, I can go up. Why would it... It better not... I'm probably going to have to go back down at some point, though. Because I think the main gate is down there. Okay. Do I just... Oh, does it not equip to anything specifically? Oh no. Whoops. Well, that's good. This skeleton, number 748, according to the number chiseled above its brow, is odd, only in that some of its teeth appear to be false ones made of reddish-brown stone. They're clearly not valuable, however, as its caretakers would have otherwise removed them. Pardon me, have you seen any skeletons walking around here? That's not the one I meant to do, but I have to ask, why the smock? I mean, it's not like you have anything to be modest about. The skeleton, shockingly, makes no reply. Great talking to you, Bones. Stay healthy. I wonder if this Greybeard would mind if I borrowed his body? Something tells me you would be twice as annoying if you had arms. Let's go. No, you're a sack full of laughs. More glares at you. Besides, you're one to talk, Burke. Mirrors beg for mercy when you're around. Oh yeah? At least I have all my parts. Mort snorts. You're not quite sure how you managed it without lungs. Let me tell you, Mort. There's nothing more satisfying than walking around, swinging your arms, breathing the crisp air through the lungs. It's great to have a body. I'll have you know that helping you escape the preparation room has now been added to my growing list of regrets. Mort snorts again. I should have let you rot. Some more, that is. Glad you feel that way. Let's go. The Dustman regards you with a stony gaze. Are you lost? Yes? I will summon a guard to direct you out. Hold on a moment. God damn it. So for future reference, I won't do this again. Oh, fuck. The Dustman takes a step back, then claps his hands together sharply 3 times. In response, a great iron bell starts tolling throughout the mortuary. Alright then. Or are you fucking kidding me?
Damn.
Well, I guess that moral quandary of should I kill everything that I run across is no longer... It's no longer on my shoulders. At least they do zero damage. God damn it. I do like the robes, though. And I will be wearing them. I feel very dashing. 1 to 3 slashing. 1 to 3 piercing. That doesn't seem right. I know scalpels are sharp. Okay, that's alright. I won't think too much about it. 1 to 6 crushing. Crushing's probably better for undead. I don't know if I need to be giving that any kind of consideration, though. Those are spikes on it that it didn't tell me it had. You could be upfront with me if this is more than just a... Well, hold on. Does it not... I put on the Dustman. Dustbin, I'm sure it is. Oh, I see. Am I incapable of combat then? Well, I have... I should have read. I see. I did want to wear it as a fashion statement. But I guess this is the hand I've been dealt. And I'm nothing if not adaptable. Does this mean that my... Great that I found it. Does this mean that my tryst with Iveen is now no longer on the table? I don't know. I'm gonna go talk to her. Maybe we can hash this out. I am, if you remember, extremely intelligent and unyieldingly charismatic. I don't know how to get downstairs. Can I not go back down? I swear to God, there's nothing like an old isometric. Okay. I'm not going to bother with the disguise. I can at least reap a little bit of experience along the way and not have to keep up appearances. It seems tiring. Now, how do they know without direct input? I get the Dustman. Is magic like coding in this universe? Where you can like set up a complex series of string of behaviors that, yeah, it's what I wanted. Kick his ass, Mort. Container is locked. Good. Dustman request. A note written on a scrap of dry parchment. Contact the necromancer responsible for raising contractual worker 42. I know he's examined the skeleton before, but I'm certain the initial raising of the body was warped. The worker still responds to commands, but when it has completed a task, it resumes pacing in the same circular pattern as it did before. Dole recently informed me that Worker 42 exhibited the same walking pattern when it was a zombie decades ago. There may be a soul echo in the marrow, or the skeleton's age may have caused the magic animating him to decay. One of the initiates suggested it may be following an order issued by a higher-ranking dustman in the past, but I have no records of such an order. Whatever the reason for its behavior, the matter is to be resolved or the worker replaced. Well, that'd be murder. That'd be murder. You can't do that. You can't gift the beautiful. It's life is such a precious thing. Is what I'm saying. That seems useful. Mortuary Sanctum Key. I wish it would be a little more descriptive, because I have no clue. I have no clue what its purpose could be. Hammer is good. So I can go back downstairs. May I please speak to... May I please speak to now likely hostile love Iveen? I didn't want to do this. I almost feel bad. What if some of these folks aren't close enough to true death that now they just have to start this shit all over again, but with a version of themselves that doesn't know shit about shit. And it takes them another 100 life cycles to get back to the remembering of what true death is. This rolled up piece of parchment appears to be some sort of message the skeleton in the mortuary was supposed to deliver. This is the third and last request for the pry bar. If it has been misplaced, tell me, and I shall go to the hive market to purchase another. I have no objection to maintaining the contracted workers, but I've been trying to repair the skeletons and the bolts are wedged in so tight I can't get them out. Also, some of the locks on the storage cabinets on the third floor have become stuck again, due to the heat. And I need the pry bar to snap them open as well. If the pry bar is indeed lost, I will see about procuring the services of a locksmith and having the cabinet locks replaced. Your aid in this matter would be appreciated. An unreadable signature has been scrawled beneath the message. I just imagine that this message, as it's being written, the handwriting is getting more and more illegible as he's just fucking livid. I like this intense, like, action pursuit music as I walk over and, like, smack him over the head with a club and it's done. What does weight... Okay, that's not a going issue then. Is it both weight and slots that I have to concern myself with, or does it scroll if I'm... I guess we'll find out. All right. Someone has penned a series of tasks in red ink on the scrap of parchment. I would like the contracted workers to be inspected thrice daily at the end of each work shift when the new initiates come on duty. We have experienced too many contracted corpses while engaged in heavy labor as of late. I said corpses, I meant collapses. And I fear the embalming enchantments initially used on the corpses may be decaying, or may have been warped somehow. If the contracted workers could be inspected every 8 hours and raised if they have collapsed, then this would prevent the backlog of shells in the preparation rooms, and free up more contracted workers for other duties. I do not wish collapsed bodies to be disposed of. When possible, the original contracted shells are to be raised and be made to resume their duties. I have included spare embalming charms within the shelves for the initiates on duty. They are to be used only when the shells cannot be repaired with stitching, bandaging, or applications of embalming fluid. I'd be curious to see... They talk about the true death being stripping yourself of passions and emotions. Not, like, entirely emotions, I'm assuming. Just, you know, keeping your focus on not having a focus. Does it exempt them to be passionate about the true death? Is it like a beautiful paradoxical thing where forevermore now they're consigned to this life cycle and have no chance every time that they realize it of escaping it? Because of their awareness of it, I knew it. That's unfortunate. Why give me weight if it also... That's just stupid as shit. I'll wear that. How do I drop? Hold on. Is there... I wish I knew the buttons. I should probably Google it. Oh, I see. I'm gonna keep one robe. Do these sell? That's the other thing, is like I'm hoarding the way that you would in like a Fallout. Because I'm desperate to know how scarce. I won't drop everything. I don't know what resource scarcity is like in this. Oh. So, in Romancing Iveen, I have to go all the way around again? This is the truest test of my passions. How much do I care for her gentle and slender figure? Enough to walk a few extra steps? I don't know. I actually really like the simplicity of the combat in this game. I am going to continue to try to avoid it when I can. But there's something about this that's like very, well, old school, I guess, is apt and also the case. But it reminds me a lot of like what I really liked about old school RuneScape's combat, which is just that you put on a new weapon and the weapon's good or the weapon's bad, but it whacks away. I hope that was an insightful examination of my of my biases toward old shitty combat. For more insights like these, hit the subscribe. I guess follow.
Damn it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You see Iveen, I do. She is still dissecting the corpse's chest with her talons. The rhythm of the talons reminds you of something, but you can't quite recall what. Watch her. Study the motions of her hands.
Updated my journal.
As you study the motion of Iveen's hands, you feel a prickling along your scalp, and then suddenly you find your vision swimming, blurring, until Is this lust? You are standing in front of a freshly slain corpse, rigor mortis making a mockery of its smile. The number 42 has been stitched onto its scalp. The zombie is lying on a slab, and you've just finished stitching up its chest. You've placed something inside, something that may prove useful if you come this way again. Echo, keep these things safe and wait for my return. The memory of your voice is an echo, strange and hollow to your ears. You cross your arms in front of your chest, and to your surprise, the corpse does too. After a moment, its hands fall back to its sides, and as it does, the vision fades. Until you are watching Iveen's hands make their stitching motions once more. Tap her, get her attention. She turns, sees you, then frowns. Dumb zombies. She clacks her taloned fingers together impatiently, then makes a stitching motion with her fingers. Fine thread and embalming fluid. Bring here to Iveen. Go.
Updated my journal.
Without missing a beat, Iveen snaps the thread from your hands and hooks it around one of her talons, then begins sewing up the corpse's chest. She then takes the embalming fluid and begins to apply a layer to the corpse. I want to see how this plays out. Within minutes, she's finished. She clicks her talons, then turns to face you. To your surprise, she extends her hand and drags her talons along your arms and chest. Keep playing zombie. Hey, looks like you have a new friend, Chief. You two need some time together, or keep playing zombie. As she traces your arms and chest, you suddenly notice she seems to be examining your scars. I'll take it. She withdraws her talons, clicks them twice, then bends forward and examines some of the tattoos on your chest. Who write on you? Hivers do that. No respect for zombies. Zombies, not paintings. She sniffs, then pokes one of your scars. This one bad shape. Many scars, no preserves. Her talons suddenly hook into the thread you brought her, and lightning-like she jabs another talon into the skin near one of your scars. It feels barely more than a pinprick, but it looks like she's about to start stitching you up. Let her work.
Updated my journal.
Not where I kind of thought it's not the direction I had assumed this would take. But I'll take what I can get. Physical touch is at a premium right now, so... When she's done, she sniffs you, frowns, and stabs her fingers into the embalming fluid. Within minutes, she's dabbed your body with the fluid, and strangely enough, it makes you feel better. Let her work. This may be the second time in my life I'm thankful I don't have a nose. Iveen puts the last touches on your body, gives you another sniff, nods, then makes a shooing motion with her talons. Done. Go, go. Leave. Iveen, though our time together was short, etc. Where's the... Can I go this way? I can. I'll probably get out of here and then call it. Is this the get out of here key? I'm assuming yes. Mort, can you slow the fuck down, please? Well, I'm guessing... Oh, I think I'm on the second floor. I, for some reason, was expecting there to be a door that would let me out here. Though, I don't know. It could have been... I don't know.
I'm gone.
I'm gone.
Damn it.
This worn, leather-bound tome lists diagrams and charts detailing several minor wards and enchantments. There are numerous drawings of skeletons, bones, and the manner by which they may be preserved over time. Of particular interest is the section regarding guardians. Apparently, the dustmen animate corpses of fallen giants to serve as guardians for the mortuary. I don't want to hear that. That's not good news for me. To make them even deadlier, armoring enchantments are woven into their breastplates to help shield them from attacks, like, say, from a shitty club that you found on a zombie's corpse. The book is much too complex for you to observe all at once, but it looks as if you could refer to certain sections when the need arises. Well... I'm assuming if I were playing smart. Are you kidding me? Am I allowed to hit? Or is hitting not permitted?
Don't let it end like this.
Okay.
Feels like I've been strained through someone's bowels.
Yeah, I do, don't it? How do I get my buddy Mort back? Mort?
Done.
Hey, Mort. Well, okay. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna call it, and then I'll come back, and I'll sort this out, and that can be part 2. No, don't want to do that. I meant to do this. Oh, and it tracks days. That's ominous. Alright. That's it. For now. See you later.